Hello, Mac students. I hope the second TOM exam went well. And in preparation for our second Mac exam, I figured that instead of hosting a massive WebEx section and doing a review session for that, that I would do the review session kind of online by myself and just post a video recording of it so that anybody in any time zone can access it whenever they'd like and whenever they're available. That just seemed more fair to me. So in this review session, we're kind of be doing what we did in the other review sessions, which is I'll be going over the main topics and the main concepts that you have to know for this second Mac exam. And then after we go over each of the main concepts, then we'll kind of look at one of the questions and I'll kind of pause it on the screen and let you guys try to solve it yourselves. Of course, you can pause it. And then I'll kind of work through it myself so that you guys can see if you got the right answer or not. And obviously, you could go back and double check and see where you made any mistakes and kind of learn from that. So I'm hoping this works out pretty well. But so to get started, the second exam will kind of have these three main concepts. So the first is activities-based management. The second is relevant costs, and relevant costs get split up into two categories, which are add drop and make or buy. And then our third concept is CVP. And there are two main concepts in this. There's single product CVP and multi-product CVP, but there are kind of two other problems that I wouldn't say they're exactly CVP, but they do kind of fall under the umbrella. I'll probably have a separate video for these two, just because this is such a large amount of information to cover in one video. So the one topic is indifference point, and the second is constraint optimization. Okay, so to do these problems, I'll kind of be explaining their concepts by using my own cheat sheet. So I do want to make it very clear, as I did last review session, that if you choose to not use your own cheat sheet, or even if you do choose to use your own cheat sheet, you need to memorize it basically. You should know almost all of the formulas front to back so that whenever it comes to time to take the exam, that even though it's online, that you won't be fumbling around looking for materials so that you could solve the answer. So my big recommendation is that halfway through the problems, you should be set and good enough so that you basically already know what to do with each problem without looking at your cheat sheet. Now, of course, for these long list of equations here, that might be a little tricky, but just as long as you know which equations are where and what equations are here, you should be fine. But for the most part, you should really know your cheat sheet, and I recommend you make your own, and if you don't, again, make sure that you memorize it and understand every part of it. So once we actually go into the problems, then I'm going to be pulling them all up from a very particular place in Canvas. So you can pull them up too. They're found under Managerial Accounting. And you just want to go to Modules. And under that, just go to Session 15, Mac Midterm 2. And then Midterm 2 Review and Solutions. So this is where I got all of my practice problems from. And these are the problems I really recommend you do before the exam. This is personally what I did before my exam whenever I took this class last year. I really think that if you do all of these problems, then you should be fine for the exam. And they may take you 5 or 6 hours, but I think it's a really good investment. Yeah. Okay, so now time to start with ABM.